You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, hundreds of Crawford County students take a holiday train ride.
Also, tensions rise between a Joplin outreach group and city leaders.
And take a look at this sunrise, a beautiful start to a chilly morning, and we will be warmer today, still breezy. I'll look at your forecast and how warm we'll be coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is just after 7 a.m. now on this Thursday, December the 11th. Happy Thursday, just now over the hump of the week, into the downhill run into the weekend. Hopefully everybody doing more Christmas. I got Christmas shopping I got to do this weekend, actually. So I'm coming in here and then I'm going to go and do some Christmas shopping.
I have Christmas shopping for all my family and friends done, but now I've gotten to the point where I see all these different community organizations being like, look at our senior tree and we have hundreds that still need to be adopted, and then I feel very bad. And so I adopted 4 yesterday, and then I told my mom, and she's like, I will give you my credit card if you go adopt 4 for me. So I feel
wow.
So
okay, well, see,
that's what I'm doing after work.
There are plenty of ways to help.
Plenty of ways, and to kind of get into that holiday spirit. A lot of people have different traditions or activities that they love to do. And in Crawford County, there's a tradition that is kind of Polar Express reminiscent.
Yeah.
Crawford County first graders and special education students got to experience a holiday train ride on the Christmas Express yesterday.
Now, Watco and the South Kansas-Oklahoma Railroad sponsored 2 festive trips that departed from Pittsburgh.
The event featured a visit from Santa, Mrs. Claus, and Santa's elves, along with a safety lesson on railroad track awareness.
And organizers say this heartwarming tradition brings holiday cheer and education to the community every year.
We just, teach them. We show some videos. We give them activity books with exercises about where to stop at railroad crossings, how far to stay back, don't put things on the tracks, things like that. Just pretty basic stuff because these are 5, 6, 7-year-olds.
Well, more than 550 students took part in the train ride.
Very cool. I like trains. I've taken these little train rides like this because you can go to Pittsburgh. Katy Days, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's Parsons. I am so sorry. Wow. Okay.
People
well, anyway.
From Parsons are going to start.
I know. I am now banned from Parsons. I don't even know where I was getting mixed. Anyway, you can ride trains at different events in the area, and they're fine. Okay.
I remember my favorite in Joplin. There used to be that little caboose that they would set up on the train tracks downtown.
Yes.
You could go visit that and see Santa. So I remember that from my childhood. I think they still occasionally do that.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I do remember it. And before I dig myself a deeper grave here, let's take a look outside. Maybe I can make it up to y'all with some warmer weather. It's not like I control it, but I can pretend like I do just for a minute and say, Parsons, it's going to be warm. Really, I have look, just a brain fart there. Anyway, take a look at that though. Absolutely beautiful sunrise. This one, again, the camera positions also play a big role into how they perceive the sunrise. And our camera at 7th and Range Line's a little lower than the one we have in downtown Pittsburgh. I'll just get out of the way. Look at all that. It just looks absolutely amazing. Now, we do have a light breeze out there this morning, but those winds will increase. KDOT camera 69, 400, and 171. It appears to be slightly frozen up for the time being, but still getting some of that sunrise. And there it goes a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Looking pretty good so far. And the MoDOT camera 32nd and Range Line. Few more cars out there on the roadway as we get our Thursday commute underway, and we're doing so with some slightly colder weather. We're at 37 in Joplin, 34 in Pittsburgh, and across the area, temperatures really aren't that far off from where we were yesterday. The majority of us in the low to mid 30s, got some upper 30s. In fact, Parsons, Neodesha, you're both tied for the warmer spots at 38 apiece. Jay, the cold spot right now, sitting at 29. And even with that light breeze, though, there's a bit of a wind chill. We've got some mid-20s, some upper 20s in some locations, so a bit colder with that light breeze. Now, by about 9, 10 o'clock this morning, winds will increase out in the southwest, gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. We'll have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, and again, we're about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday, which was 10 degrees cooler than the day prior, and tomorrow will be 10 degrees cooler than today. We'll get to tomorrow a little later. For this morning, low 40s by 9, mid 50s by noon. I think most of us are looking at highs into the upper 50s. Could get some low 60s, especially in our southwestern communities. Southwest wind 5 to 15, gusting to 25. All right, so we're going to get another front tomorrow. It's going to get a little cooler. And then we have a pretty significant drop in temperatures heading into Saturday night and Sunday. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris thinks a Missouri State Highway Patrol trooper may have prevented a tragedy when he stopped a driver who was driving on the wrong side of the road. It happened early Sunday morning in Cole County. The video shows the driver passing by the trooper while traveling east on the westbound lanes of the highway. The trooper started to chase the driver with lights and sirens, traveling parallel to the vehicle. He then re-entered the westbound lanes and purposefully crashed into the driver. According to the probable cause statement, the 34-year-old woman told police she had consumed alcohol that night. Police say the driver was arrested and is facing several charges, including repeat DWI. Well, a group of Missouri residents is moving forward with a petition to block a newly proposed congressional map. As John Lieber reports, the group People Not Politicians say they have the numbers to back the proposal.
The show me state. You're going to have to show us, give us a good reason. You just can't pull this kind of stunt for no reason.
Members of People Not Politicians delivered nearly 300,000 signatures to halt the state legislature's newly passed congressional district map. The initiative petition is one of the largest referendum turn-ins in Missouri history.
It is about putting people's voices into action. Every box that you carry, every sheet, carries the aspirations of a Missourian.
The submission effectively places a hold on the map approved by lawmakers in September until voters can weigh in at the ballot box next November. The new map, drawn to help President Donald Trump hold on to a Republican majority in the U.S. House, focuses on Metro Kansas City, splitting one area, now represented by Democrat Emanuel Cleaver, into 3 congressional districts, none of them winnable by Democrats.
People see that as, well, what's the emergency here? What's the change that we need to make? When the answer to that is the change is about achieving a partisan goal, then it becomes very clear to Missourians.
Assuming the map achieves its purpose, the new map would give the GOP a 7-1 majority in the Show Me State. Republican Missouri Secretary of State Denny Hoskins indicated he would invalidate some 92,000 signatures because they were collected before October 15th, when the petition was approved by his office. A Cole County judge is considering a People Not Politicians lawsuit against Hoskins, a suit that claims such invalidation violates the Constitution.
The idea of silencing Missourians' voices who are expressing their constitutional right will never be water under the bridge for us. It will never be inconsequential.
Even without the 92,000 signatures, the group still surpasses the 107,000 valid signatures needed to place this issue on the ballot.
I'm very confident that when the signatures are checked, we are going to have enough signatures to qualify.
But Von Glahn says they will not drop the court battle over signatures collected before October 15th.
Because those signatures are representations of Missourians petitioning their government for redress. Core First Amendment fundamental rights, the things that we learn about in grade school.
In a separate case, a federal judge Monday refused to back a challenge by Republican Attorney General Catherine Hanaway and other GOP leaders that sought to prevent a statewide vote on redistricting. Judge Zachary Bluestone said the federal court lacked jurisdiction in the matter.
A Joplin outreach group serving meals outside City Hall is being asked to relocate. City leaders say the setup is causing access concerns, but volunteers believe the location is essential. KLUM's Blake Goley has more from the group's efforts to serve the community.
I'm here asking you to relocate.
On behalf of
I'm trying to do it nicely.
On behalf of
the City of Joplin.
Louder, please.
The City of Joplin.
The City of Joplin would like what?
For you to be successful in feeding people and going to
but not on public property.
I'm standing outside of Joplin City Hall on the same sidewalk that Hopeful Bites provides meals to those in need. But now the city says that same outreach is causing a problem and they would like the group to move. The group says their work matters in this location and they're pushing back.
The city has an obligation to help the people in the community. And if they're not willing to do so, maybe one of the organizations that gets tax benefits would be willing to do so. If not, then there's a very large problem that needs addressed, and we will be here until it is addressed.
In a letter provided to the group, the city says locating such services on any city sidewalk within the right-of-way presents multiple potential ordinance violations. The letter also states the current location has a negative impact on city operations, including foot traffic in the nearby trolley stop. For now, the group plans to continue offering meals outside of City Hall. Reported in Joplin, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we're chatting with a representative from In the Garden about their upcoming 4th Street Market. Well, welcome back. I'm joined this morning with John Harrison from In the Garden, the greenhouse and nursery in Pittsburgh. He's also brought one of his beautiful plants with us this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. This is a poinsettia, and they're typically purchased for the holidays. This is a very large one. We have a few of these left for sale still, but that's not what I really came to talk about today.
Yeah. No, it's just a fun little decor to kind of get us in the holiday spirit, and also an example of what somebody might be able to find at your guys' upcoming community market.
Yes, so we started the 4th Street Market in Pittsburgh officially in November. We kind of had a soft launch in the fall. We didn't have a name for it at that time. We had a great turnout before Thanksgiving. This will be our second one. We're doing one a month. And we have very unique vendors coming. There's a couple bakeries, bakers coming. I ordered a pie for Thanksgiving last time. That vendor will be there. There's a lady that's making blankets. These are very plush, nice blankets. There's photo opportunities for families. Also bring the kids. There will be some temporary tattoos for each child that comes. We'll have hot food, free hot cocoa, lots of stuff to do. And it'll be in a covered area and lightly heated. It is going to be cold Saturday. We'll have the furnaces on in the greenhouse, but it may not be 70 degrees, so you'll want a light jacket or a coat. But you'll be out of the wind and the elements.
Amazing. What made you guys want to organize a market like this?
Well, as a garden center, we have a large footprint, but we only utilize it mostly in the spring and summer and early fall. Once we get into late fall, there's not as much product up there, and certainly this time of year the greenhouse is completely empty. So we have this space that we're not utilizing. We thought it would be a really good idea to bring a community event, and we have this huge space. We have a huge parking lot, and it's turned out really well. We've been really surprised how well in November how many people showed up.
Yeah, so you guys had a large response, it sounds like, from not only community members, but vendors wanting to participate as well.
Yes, and of course we have a large area, so we are looking for more vendors. We do have more vendors in December than we had in November. We expect it to keep growing.
Amazing. And we're coming up on the holiday season. It's coming quick, and it sounds like this is going to be a great opportunity if you have some last minute holiday shopping and maybe get some of that done while supporting local.
Yes, and of course we have we have house plants, and we have poinsettias, and of course gift cards. Some people may not like to buy gift cards, but the great thing about a gift card, if you're not sure what color of plant or what type of plant somebody likes, or maybe it's a piece of pottery they want, a gift card is a great gift, because then they get to pick out what they want.
Amazing. Well, I mean, this market sounds like it's going to be so much fun, even if it's a bit cold. It's still going to be warmer inside than would be out, so you can still enjoy some of that walking around market atmosphere. If people are hoping to attend it, when, where, and what time? Okay,
so it's going to be this Saturday, and the event is from 10 to 4. Now, some of the vendors may leave about 2 o'clock as we get later in the day, and we're just really excited to do it.
Amazing. And if people are hoping to find more information, maybe about the markets or about your guys' business in the garden, where should they go?
So we are very active on Facebook, and we are spotlighting vendors through the week. You may need to go back and look at some of the posts. It'll show some pictures of what each vendor's selling. And we haven't spotlighted all the vendors yet because we're not quite to Saturday, but Facebook is a great way to see what's going on In the Garden.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, John. It sounds like it's going to be a great event.
Well, thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:19 now on this Thursday morning. And we got some weather to talk about. And I've discussed this the last couple of days. It just is still, it's so crazy to me. 3 fronts in 3 days, all coming in at approximately the same time. Because by 5 a.m. yesterday, we had that cold front lined up right here. And they're like cutting the area in half by 5 a.m. This morning at 5 a.m., we had that warm front right here. Tomorrow at 5 a.m., we're going to have another cold front right here. That's what's been sending these temperatures all over the place. Now, they're going to level out tomorrow into Saturday before we get a big drop. And we're going to go over all of that with you, starting with today. About 10 o'clock this morning, southwest winds, because we've got a light breeze now. They're going to kick in, gusting up to 25. That's going to help get those temperatures warmer for us. And we'll have those mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. And that's really about it. We're going to be about 10 degrees warmer today than yesterday. Yesterday was 10 degrees cooler than the day prior, and tomorrow will be 10 degrees cooler than today. So, as promised, by 5 a.m. tomorrow, here's that cold front cutting the area in half. We'll have gusty west winds ahead of it, north winds back behind it, gusting to 20, and we'll have another mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Now, from Friday into Saturday, like I said, things don't change much. In fact, our highs on Saturday for most of us are going to be pretty close to what we see Friday. Here's what we've got that's going to be shaping up that big drop in temperatures for us going from Saturday late evening into Sunday. We have a pretty potent system that's the main system's going to miss us off to the north and east. There's winter weather alerts from the Dakotas down into Tennessee and Kentucky, up in northeastern Missouri, back towards St. Louis, not including us. But we are going to be close enough to this system that these northeast winds Saturday will start increasing. Later in the day, Saturday, clouds will increase. They're going to start gusting, and the temperature drop that's associated with this system is going to start to hit us, and it's going to hit pretty hard. We're going to talk about that in just one moment. First, this morning, upper 30s to start. You see that temperature jump, not a big one, but that temperature jump from 9 to 10, that's when those winds start increasing. We'll be in the low 50s by 11. Highs today for most of us into the upper 50s, and then we'll have lows tonight back into the upper 30s, and again some low 60s not out of the question, especially in our southwestern communities. So this is what I was saying, Friday, Saturday, upper 40s both days. We should be right on track here. But then Saturday night, that's a big dive down into the teens for lows Saturday night heading into Sunday morning, and only into the 20s for most of us on Sunday. The concern we have is, at least for this season, this part of winter here, it's going to be one of the colder nights that we're going to have, colder starts on Sunday as well. With those gusty winds, we are looking at the potential, at least right now, for wind chills Saturday night into Sunday morning to be from 0 to 10 below. So now is the time. Like I said, we've had the up and down temperatures, but we haven't had the bitterly cold wind chills like that yet, and that's rolling in. So if you're heading out to church, whatever you're doing on Sunday morning, you definitely want to make sure you're ready for that, because it's only going to make the 20s as well. So even a light breeze on Sunday is going to make it cold. Now, Sunday night into Monday, not a big drop in temperatures. And the reason? Well, we're going to start to warm up again, because why not? 40s Monday and Tuesday, 50s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and maybe some low 60s by the following weekend, with some slight shower chances Tuesday through Thursday. That's a check of your forecast. We have Dustin Luno from the Joplin Fire Department. There he is. And you see that thing next to him? That's a space heater. Keeps you warm usually, but they can potentially be dangerous. We'll have a look at that right after this.
Well, welcome back. We're joined this morning with Dustin Luno from the Joplin Fire Department. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Well, I know the temperatures are getting colder, even if right now it's like a little roller coaster with temps up and down, and the holidays are approaching. But that doesn't mean that fire safety goes away.
Right. And we're looking at some really cold temperatures this weekend, right? So now's a great opportunity to talk about, alternative heating methods and some safety we can look at for that. And one of the biggest things that are used are something like a space heater, right? Space heaters are great. They're effective. They work. However, they're responsible for up to 1/3 of all alternate heating related fires, according to National Fire Protection Agency. So it's something we do have to look out for. A couple things that we can look out for is have a 3-foot radius around any space heater for any type of combustible material, furniture, drapery, anything like that that could catch fire is a potential fire hazard within a 3-foot radius. Next, the cord. Make sure that the cord is plugged directly into the wall. No power strips, no extension cords, nothing like that, because they do pull quite a bit of energy. They can overload an extension cord, and that can cause a fire in and of itself. And that's just talking electric. Now we talk about, alternative fuel, think about gas fire, things of that nature, or even a fireplace or something like that. Everybody that is not total electric needs to have a carbon monoxide detector in their house. A carbon monoxide detector is going to, watch out for gas that is extremely deadly. It's odorless, it's colorless, it mixes with air, and it's always on guard watching out for you. So if you're not total electric, get you a carbon monoxide detector. That is a great thing to have to protect your family. The fireplaces, we need to have those inspected before we have, we go this weekend. It's going to be really nice and cold. Everybody's going to light the fire in the fireplace. And if it hasn't been inspected, to make sure that the flue is clean. And that it is properly functioning and in good working order. The outcome can be a flue fire, which easily can maneuver into the house, into the structure itself, and gets into the attic. And that's the last thing we want, right? We're so close to the holidays. We don't want somebody to end up, removed from their structure, removed from their house because of a fire event. So just a little bit of precaution, and that way we can safely heat our homes, especially, like I said, this weekend. And we're going to have those all year, right? So 4 states, so we're going to have nice weather, and then we're going to have, was it at the negative 10 degrees wind chills this weekend?
Yeah, I know, people are wanting to stay warm, but it's so important to remember to try to stay safe as well. And these are things that you may not think about in the moment. So we are so appreciative.
Thanks for having us on.
And giving us some of these safety tips that people may not realize.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Dustin. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:31. I'm Samantha Walker. Authorities respond to a Tuesday morning crash in Montgomery County involving a semi and a train. The crash happened on Highway 169 at the railroad crossing just north of Cherryvale. Authorities say the semi failed to stop and crashed with a rail car of the passing train. The semi was hauling a trailer load of cattle. The driver was airlifted to an area hospital with serious injuries. Several cattle were safely removed and transported to their destination, though some animals were hurt. Authorities in Jasper County respond to an early morning crash on Interstate 44 yesterday. Responders say the crash mainly involved 2 semis whose trailers had broken open and spilled paper plates and small food items. Other vehicles were damaged by hitting items in the road. No word yet on the number of injuries. We'll have updates on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, and we've got an absolutely beautiful sunrise. In fact, since I'm not as beautiful as the sunrise, I will step out of the way and just let us all take that in this morning. Great looking start to the day, a bit on the chilly side, but not too bad. Our camera 7th in range line showing that sunrise as well. It's a little lower on the camera, plus the tower it's attached to. I can't turn it any further right or all we'll see is tower. And the tower is not as pretty as the sunrise itself. KDOT camera 69, 400, and 171, looking along 171. We look good so far. And one last camera stop, 32nd in range line in Joplin, looking good as well. Got folks, they're stopping for the red light, always a good thing to do. And otherwise, we're looking clear. We're looking all right. Temperatures this morning, not too far off from yesterday for most of us. We got 37 in Joplin, 34 in Pittsburgh, and around the region, temperatures look like this. They look like the 30s for the most part, with one exception, Jay at 29. That's the cold spot. We still have Parsons and Neodesha, and I still have 1,000 apologies to issue to Parsons so that I'm not banned from the community. But Neodesha and Parsons both at 38 as the warm spots. However, we do have a light southerly breeze right now, but by about 9, 10 o'clock, it's going to start to pick up out of the southwest. So our wind chills, they're cold. Yes, we're in the 20s. We've got some 20s out there, but they're not bitterly cold. They're just uncomfortably cold. By again, 9, 10 a.m., southwest winds ramp up, gusting to 25. We're going to be dry, and that same mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies across the area for us today. Our temperatures look like this through the day. Low 40s by 9, mid 50s by noon. I think most of us are going for highs into the upper 50s. Could get some low 60s in our southwestern communities. And speaking of southwest winds, as I mentioned, 5 to 15, gusting to 25. We've had by tomorrow we'll have had 3 fronts in 3 days. We have a cold front tomorrow morning. It's going to drop our temperatures again, and we do have a pretty significant temperature drop heading into Sunday. Go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. Byers Apartments in Joplin got a new makeover. The goal of the renovations was to improve safety and update code regulations for new tenants. The project was supposed to be done back in June, but the CEO of ProX Property Management said the renovations, according to the city regulation code, turned the project into a new development. Many of the issues stemmed from environmental and health concerns. Well, lawmakers in Washington are staring down a year-end crisis, soaring health care premiums, unless Congress approves a new plan.
It's crunch time on Capitol Hill. COVID-era Obamacare subsidies expire on December 31st. And unless Congress takes action, premiums could double for millions of Americans.
This is the kind of increase where you can't pay your rent, you can't buy groceries, you can't pay for shoes for kids. It's an emergency.
On Thursday, the Senate will vote on dueling plans. Democrats want a 3-year extension on the ACA subsidies, while Republicans have agreed to put forth a new proposal that would expand health savings accounts.
Tomorrow is a moment of truth for the Republicans here in the Senate. Are they going to bring health care costs down, or will they sit by and let premiums explode for millions of Americans?
We Republicans are trying to make it better. We want money in your pocket for your out-of-pocket, and they want you to front the whole thing.
Without bipartisan support, neither bill is expected to get the 60 votes needed to pass. Therefore, the House is working on its own plan.
But you're going to see a package come together that will be on the floor next week that will actually reduce premiums for 100% of Americans.
And the critical deadline comes as President Trump is under pressure to show skeptical voters he's doing enough to make life more affordable.
We're also working to bring down the cost of health care. Obamacare is a scam. Under Obamacare, trillions of dollars were given directly to health insurance companies.
The White House hasn't directly endorsed the GOP plan in the Senate, but the president is supportive of giving federal aid directly to patients. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Well, Southeast Kansas hospitals and mental health centers unite for patients in the 4-state area. A number of Southeast Kansas healthcare providers have come together to form a new coalition. Southeast Kansas Health includes Labette Health, Wilson Medical Center, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, 4 County Mental Health Center Incorporated, and Southeast Kansas Mental Health Center. The coalition aims to get residents the right care close to home.
Traditionally, there's been a lot of, competition and isolation in Southeast Kansas with different organizations. So this is the first opportunity we've had to work with like-minded organizations to build something together.
Instead of competing with each other, the organizations are instead collaborating to expand their network of care even further.
Maybe we have psychiatry services here, maybe we have wound care services here that are referred to, maybe we have swing bed services that other facilities can utilize. So it's a benefit for patients. It's keeping them in Southeast Kansas versus transferring, to Oklahoma or to other states.
A recent assessment conducted by Wilson Medical Center found that many patients are looking for better mental and behavioral health resources. Through this new health cooperative, it'll be much easier for them to get the help that they need.
Sad reality in the United States is individuals with a severe mental illness tend to die 25 years earlier than people without a severe mental illness, and there's a variety of reasons for that. One of those reasons is the difficulty in navigating healthcare.
At a time where access to care isn't always affordable, the cooperative finds innovative ways to bridge the gap.
It's a very rural population. Poverty is an issue for any number of individuals. So again, being able to literally work with a system that by design is meant to help you identify where do we need to help you get that is still local.
In Southeast Kansas, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Each participating organization will have a board member that will regularly discuss the vision and goals for the coalition with its fellow organizations. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News.
Benjamins.
The Federal Reserve is making more interest cuts as Trump prepares to name a successor.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:46 on this Thursday morning, starting with the future track. So, 3 days of 3 fronts. A cold front yesterday, a warm front this morning, a cold front tomorrow morning, and the other strange part is they've all almost been arriving at the same time. 5 a.m. yesterday, we had that cold front just about here, cutting the area almost in half. This morning at 5 a.m., the warm front right about here, again, almost cutting the area in half. And tomorrow morning, we'll have another cold front, which I'll show you. And by the way, each of those pauses there where I'm explaining where these lined up was at 5 a.m. It's kind of mysterious. But it has led to some temperature swings. So yesterday was 10 degrees cooler about than the day prior. Today, we're about 10 degrees or so warmer than yesterday. Tomorrow will be 10 degrees cooler than today. We'll have southwest winds. They're going to start picking up after right around 9, 10 o'clock this morning. They'll be gusting out of the southwest up to 25, and we'll have that mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies again. We're going to go partly cloudy overnight. This is what I was talking about. Tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., boom, cold front. Right almost in the same place as the one yesterday morning. Here we are at 5. Ahead of it, west winds gusting to 25. Behind it, north winds gusting to about 20. We'll still have that mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies through the day on Friday, but we will again be a little cooler than where we will be today. Now, Friday into Saturday, finally, no fronts, but there's something else that's happening this weekend that we've got to be cautious about. And then right now, we're not looking at any wintry precipitation for our area. There are winter weather alerts, again, from the Dakotas out into Tennessee and Kentucky, all well off to our north and east, and that's where it's expected to stay. It's a pretty potent system. It's bringing snow, and again, all across a pretty broad area to our north and east. Now, we won't get the snow is the expectation, but we will get in on the colder air. So as we go later into the day Saturday, northeast winds will start picking up, clouds will begin increasing, and we're just close enough to that system that our temperatures are going to take a dive Saturday night into Sunday, which we will show you in just a moment here on the extended forecast. For this morning, upper 30s to start, low 50s by 11. You see, between 9 and 10, I know it's not a huge jump, but it's a decent jump in temperatures, and that's when those winds start to pick up out of the southwest. We're looking at most of us highs into the upper 50s, some low 60s in our southwestern counties, not out of the realm of possibility. Upper 30s tonight, upper 40s on Friday, upper 40s on Saturday. But this is the thing we want to keep a very close eye on. Now, if this works, and it won't, it never does. That's okay. Well, that's kind of what we were looking at, but not exactly. Never mind. All right, teens. We're dropping down, low teens, maybe some single digits Saturday night into Sunday morning. Gusty northeast winds are going to give us at least that chance for wind chills of 0 to 10 below. I know we've had the teens so far this little season. We have had the up and down temperatures. What we've not necessarily had is those really gusty winds with bitterly cold temperatures. So if you're heading out Sunday morning for church, whatever other activities you may be doing, you need to bundle up. You need to be prepared for those bitterly cold temperatures. We'll be only into the 20s on Sunday, so we're still going to be bitterly cold throughout the day. So just make sure you're prepped for that. It's going to be very cold, much colder than where we have been here lately. Now, Sunday night and the Monday morning, it's still cold, but look, that temperature drop not so big because look at Monday. Mid-40s, upper 40s, low 50s, upper 50s, upper 50s, low 60s as we head into next weekend. So this cold snap, brief, and we'll start warming back up with a few shower chances possible, at least isolated showers, next Tuesday through Thursday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, this is a story that Chris has been nonstop telling us here at the station about.
Yeah.
A plane crash lands onto a Florida interstate. Video shows a small plane attempting an emergency landing on Interstate 95 in Cocoa, Florida on Monday.
Now, the Florida Highway Patrol says the plane did hit one vehicle in the crash, which you see in this video, and one person was sent to the hospital, thankfully, with only minor injuries. The agency reports 2 people were on the plane. Neither of them were hurt. The FAA is expected to investigate the cause of the crash, but, you know, this is not the first time planes have had to make landings on interstates or larger roads like that in emergency situations, but I do believe it's been a minute, though, since that car was just, unfortunately, wrong place at the wrong time. They landed right on him, but thankfully,
what are the chances?
Only a minor injury, which is good for sure.
Can you imagine just driving and suddenly there's a plane?
Yeah, and there's a plane
there.
landing on you. Yeah, that's the last thing you expect.
Oh
to see while you're on the highway. Well, the average person decorating for Christmas doesn't put themselves in this much danger to set up their nativity. These folks did. Divers at the Madrid Zoo placed figures of baby Jesus, Mary, and Joseph in a nearly 3,000-gallon tank housing sharks.
Take a look at this. Sharks swim past the divers yesterday. They seem pretty disinterested in the divers and the decor. The nativity scene has become a tradition at the aquarium, set up in the tank every year since 1995 without incident. I feel like there is something like sacrilegious that could happen.
It's like a Clark
with the
Griswold
sharks.
situation too, with the danger level going in there with the
Why?
sharks.
That's a little unnecessary, and the sharks don't seem to care.
No, that's
They
the
don't
interesting
need the
part.
reason for the season.
They clearly don't get it.
Well, a deer hoping to become a member of Santa's sleigh team found itself in quite a mess. Police in Jonesboro, Tennessee say the deer broke into the Gabriel's and More shop in Jonesboro early Friday and spent some time rummaging through the shop, checking out ornaments and garland.
Officers came out and tried to stop the deer as it galloped through the store. The deer was eventually caught when it tried to slip under a chair and got wedged in.
Officers then escorted the thief out of the store. Once officers freed the deer from the chair, the deer took off running.
Unlike the raccoon, he did not consume any alcohol in the store. I'm sure they didn't have any. It's a Christmas shop. We got time for one more thing here. A new report from Grubhub details the most ordered foods in 2025. Are you ready? I know I am. A food delivery service released this report after collecting data and analyzing millions of orders from January 1st through October the 15th.
The most common trend the platform discovered was the increase in users ordering foods with higher levels of protein, help with energy, or support gut health. Beans were the most popular item this year, with more than 1.5 tons of legumes delivered nationwide.
Now, other popular items ordered included 10 fish, as you saw, matka, electrolyte drinks, cold foam, as well as chicken nuggets. And so, chicken nugget. Okay, I can go with the chicken nuggets for sure.
It's matcha.
I'm so sorry. I have offended more folks again.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. But we got another look at your forecast, and we'll get you out the door here in just a moment. We have got ourselves a warmer day today, upper 50s, some low 60s, gusty southwest winds, gusty north winds tomorrow, another cold front, 47, upper 40s Saturday, but again, that big cool down Saturday night into Sunday, down into the teens overnight, only in the 20s on Sunday, and with gusty northeast winds, we could have wind chills Sunday night or Saturday night into Sunday, 0 to 10 below. So just make sure you're prepared. One of the colder nights we're going to have, one of the colder days we're going to have so far.
I'm not excited for it.
Me either. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. Parsons, again, another 1,000 apologies. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.